Okay, so I have acquired the books. I got these ones. They're just the US covers that are in paperback. I couldn't find the third one also in a paperback. Like the third one is still in a hardback right now. So I just have these two thus far. Typically a really popular like TikTok fantasy type series is not the kind of books I typically read or enjoy, which is why I still haven't read these yet. But what kind of intrigued me to want to read them is that they're by Stephanie Garber, who is the author of Caraval or Caraval. And I really, really liked Caraval. I really like her writing style, so that's what made me want to try to start these books. And I can't find it anywhere. I looked in the store when I was there. By the time I finish this book, I'm going to need it. I am dying to start the third book. I don't have the third book yet. I am almost 130 pages into Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't want to say for sure exactly how I feel about it yet because it's hard to tell. I'm not even halfway through. There definitely is something about this writing style of Stephanie Garber that I do really, really like. Even though it is by a great writer, I'm still very hesitant just because everything about this book seems like something that I wouldn't like. But it's going good so far, so I'm happy about that. This morning I got up and finished Once Upon a Broken Heart. The book is completed and I have a lot of thoughts on it, so I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but in general my opinion is that this definitely exceeded my expectations. Just the writing is so good, like cute fairy tale-esque vibe to everything. That's the best way I can describe it, and I think that's what makes this book so good. Now it's time to start the next one, which I have right here, The Ballad of Never After. Something I will say about starting this second book is that a lot of times with series like this, the first book seems to be really, really good, and then they just kind of get worse and worse as the books go on. Not to be a downer, I'm still going to go into this next book with high hopes, but I think just because the first book is pretty good, it doesn't necessarily mean that the second and the third is also going to be good. I'm a little skeptical, but we'll see. Also, I've been looking everywhere for a paperback version of the third book because I need a paperback to match my other two paperbacks and I can't find it anywhere. I looked in the store when I was there and I'm looking online too and I'm not even seeing it online. But it's weird because when I look up to see when the paperback is coming out, it says it's already out, but for some reason I can't like actually get it anywhere. But by the time I finish this book, I'm going to need it. There are a lot of things that I should be doing today, but I haven't been doing any of it. Instead, I've just been reading this book. Like the two main characters and their relationship sometimes feels a little bit stereotypical. I don't want to like say too much, I don't want to spoil it, but that being said, it's still a really good book and I'm still enjoying it a lot. And especially with this one, the stakes are getting really high and things are getting a little more intense. And I do like that a lot. I will say that the plot is very interesting. What typically happens with really popular like TikTok fantasy books is that it's usually just about like the romance and there's not much plot along with it, and this one has a lot of plot and it's very good and it's really interesting. So yeah, this book is like kind of surprising me a lot thus far. So it was becoming really clear that I actually was really loving this second book too. And even though I wasn't sure whether I would love the third book too, I knew I definitely wanted to read it. At this point I was getting really nervous because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to buy it or not. I'm Googling A Curse for True Love, which is the third book, in paperback, and I'm not seeing it anywhere. But when I look up when it comes out in paperback, it's already out. It's not in Barnes & Noble, at least not my store, and I can look it up on Amazon, but it says it's gonna take like several weeks to get here. It's not like on Prime. I don't know why. And so I don't know what to do. I need the paperback version because I need them to all match and look pretty together on the shelf. I just got to a really crazy part, and if you know me, you know that I love mystery thrillers. It's probably my favorite genre, and so I love when just like normal fantasy books have some mystery sprinkled in, and this one does, and a lot of like cool things are being revealed, so I'm really liking that. So I have some good news and I have bad news. The good news is that I just finished A Ballad of Never After. I did really enjoy this one. Honestly, I kind of feel like, and I've been looking at reviews online and I don't think many people felt this way, but for me, I kind of liked this second one better than the first one. That being said, I am dying to start the third book, but the bad news is that I don't have the third book yet. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble, perhaps even Target, and look and see if I can find the paperback anywhere. I don't know why I'm making such a big deal out of this. I could very easily just get the hardback and it's not that big of a deal. I just really like the look of these books and the spines together, and I don't know, it's just gonna look so good if I get the paperback. I couldn't understand why I wasn't finding this book in a paperback anywhere in the stores until I had a devastating realization. Here's the thing. I am not very smart. I really thought that the paperback was out, but I definitely saw something that said the paperback was out. However, whatever I saw was a lie, because the paperback is in fact not out, which makes a lot of sense because I can't find it anywhere. So it makes a lot of sense. And then I realized that I had two options. Number one, buy the hardback and just have them not all match and look aesthetically pleasing together. Or number two, get the audiobook, listen to the third book, and then later, once the paperback comes out, get the third one so they all match. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I decided not to get the hardback when I was out, and I'm going to do some things and listen to it, and I'm excited to start it. I'm so excited to start it. Looking back, these books definitely didn't deserve any judgment that I was giving them in the first place. Obviously, just because a book is popular on the internet doesn't mean it's inherently bad. I think there's just a negative stigma surrounding super mega popular books, and that might just be because when everyone talks about it, you set your standards really high before reading it, and then a lot of times they don't meet those expectations. But I have to say, these books were really good regardless. I just hit 50% into A Curse for True Love. I'm fully accepting it now. I really like these books. They're super good. It's going really well so far, and I'm really loving this specific plot for this last book. Just like not really what I expected, but I'm actually really liking it. Throughout reading these books, I knew that they were pretty good and I was enjoying reading them, but I was like, do I like them for a mega popular TikTok fantasy book, or are they actually just really good books on their own? And there's so much like anticipation about it. There's a lot of things that I want to happen really badly, and I'm hoping that they do happen. Although there are some things about them that feel a little bit cliche, I think it's pretty obvious that I do really like the books regardless. I just finished A Curse for True Love. The entire trilogy has been read and it was really good. And eventually, someday, I'm going to get the paperback and I'm going to put them all three on my shelf together, and it's gonna look so pretty and it's gonna be so worth it.